And just inhaling in, lengthening up through the spine. Exhaling, softening down through the jaw, shoulders, hips, and knees. Just allowing your body to release. So the idea is the body is an extension of the mind. And so with yoga, all these poses and stretches, just release the body so that the mind can just get more and more relaxed and bigger. And then we look at eventually, for those that are interested, tapping into their higher selves. So it's this idea of we contain the universe, we are the universe, we're infinite. So we want to release the body to just access that part of our mind, for those that believe that or are interested in it. And that's why we do all these wonderful and weird poses and stretches. Wonderful. So now thinking about that, they call it the third eye chakra, so just in between the eyebrows. Keeping the eyes closed, just bring your hands up and you're going to place your fists gently against your eyelids with your fingers and the palms of your hands over your forehead. It might feel a little bit odd. For those that were here this morning, we'd like, just getting to see so many odd things. So just covering the eyes. Not pressing, not hurting, just covering. Wonderful. And you'll already notice now how much darker it is and how much more of the external environment you're blocking out. So keeping your eyes covered, just return that focus back to your breath, to your body. So we're really going inwards. Inhaling in, feeling that expansion of your stomach. Exhaling, feeling the release. And just listening to your body. Nothing else around you matters. Only you matter in this moment. And just noticing how much darker it is behind the eyelids. Noticing that infinite darkness. And just allowing yourself to release into it. Feeling that darkness over your eyes and your eyelids, blocking everything else out around you. Nothing else matters apart from you. And for just now, just listening to me. Inhaling into this moment. Exhaling, letting go of the past. Inhaling into the now. Exhaling, letting go of the future. Just focusing on that darkness and that gentle pressure on your eyelids. I'm going to go nice and quiet, and you're going to slowly start to block out all the sounds around you. So you're focusing purely on the sound of your inhale and exhale as you breathe. Now I'm going to go quiet. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to very gently start to release the palms of our hands off our eyelids, and then gently opening our eyes and just coming back to the room. Wonderful. And so everything might feel a little bit brighter. Your arms might ache. I should have warned you about that. It's not really a comfortable way to do it, sorry. But it's quite a good way of just tapping in. Everything's a little bit darker. A bit like humming bee breath. It's a really good way of just focusing inwards. So we're going to start to move very gently. So just like last week, we're just going to pop our feet out in front, bending our knees, hands either side, and then we're just going to allow our knees to gently rock side to side like a pair of windscreen wipers. What I love, and I can see it on my screen, is when you were doing the meditation, the dogs were not impressed. There's 2 dogs, they were getting completely ignored, and they were, boy. There we go. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, the next time your knees land on any side, just bring one foot up to your buttocks and then bring the other foot into the inner thigh. You can do it any side you want. Perfect, good. And then all we're going to do very gently in this position is some gentle circling. We'll do this quite quickly, so just get a bit of movement in. Wonderful. And then taking the circling the other way. And to be honest, this is nothing to do with our theme. This is just a really nice warm-up stretch. So you're just getting into your hips. Or we could say it's helping you to know how your body feels, actually, but I just think we're sitting down more because of lockdown, so it's quite nice to move like this. And then when we're ready, coming back to center, if it feels comfortable, we're going to exhale, just walking our hands away, coming into a forward fold. Lovely, good, perfect. And then nice and gently walking the hands back up, coming back up to center. Wonderful. And then we're just going to take our legs out in front again, and then windscreen wiper just a little bit before taking it to the other side. Oh, there's obviously something happening with dogs, because I can hear my dogs upstairs going bananas. Don't know if you guys can. And then when you're ready, we're going to just gently take it to the other side. So bringing one foot in by your buttocks, the other foot into your inner thigh. If you've forgotten which side, it's not really the end of the world, don't worry. And then when we're ready, we're going to take that circling any way you want. Lovely. Perfect. So we're going to focus a lot, the same as last week, on releasing the forehead. So we're going to do quite deep stretches and hold them for a bit longer. And just looking at allowing the head to go nice and heavy, just that we can relax a little bit deeper into forward folds. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, taking that circling the other way. Perfect. And it's just this idea of kind of softening the body and the mind, releasing the mind so that we can relax. Perfect. And then when we're ready, coming back to center, we're going to, if you want to, do a forward fold. So as we exhale, just walking the hands away and folding down only as much as you want. So wherever feels comfortable. Lovely. And then when we're ready, softly coming back up. Perfect. And then we're going to just gently stretch our legs out nice and wide as you want. And we're going to do a very gentle forward fold. So we're just getting into our hips. So inhaling up tall. And then as we exhale, walking the hands away, coming into an easy wide-legged forward fold. And you can bring your hands to either leg or the middle, whatever you prefer. Lovely. And then when we're ready, nice and gently bringing ourselves back up. Perfect. And then we're just going to make our way into tabletop position. Perfect. Lovely, just keeping soft elbows, wonderful. And then all we're going to do very gently is, as you exhale, you're going to release your buttocks down to your heels, coming into extended child's pose. Perfect. Breathing into it. And then when we're ready, if it feels comfortable, you're going to bend your elbows and keeping your chest and head low. We're going to inhale, scooping forwards to a gentle back bend. Lovely, good. Taking it as low as you want. And then we're going to exhale back up to extended child's pose. Wonderful. And then flowing through it again, bending the elbows, inhaling to a cobra. Lovely. And just nice and modified. Wonderful. And then exhaling one last time back into extended child's pose. And just noticing that little bit more space around the hips. And then as we inhale, bending the elbows, scooting forwards, one last cobra. Lovely. And then nice and gently pushing ourselves back up, we're going to bring our buttocks to our heels, keeping our hands underneath us, embracing the hands. We're just going to allow the hips to really sink down on the heels. And then coming into that child's pose, we're going to either bend the elbows and pop the hands on top of each other, resting the forehead on it, on the hands, or we're going to make fists and pillows and just release the forehead on the hands. Wonderful. And do not, child's pose is arguably one of the most important poses in yoga. So it's truly restorative. It's meant to feel good and nice. And it really, as you can tell the way you're lying, it encourages you to just go inwards and block out all the environment, ignoring everyone else, everything else. But it only works if it feels comfortable. So do not be afraid to adjust it any way you want to make it feel nice for you. Wonderful. And then just staying in this pose a little bit longer, just gently closing your eyes if you haven't done so already. Just allow your forehead to get a little bit heavier, relaxing neck and head, releasing into the earth. So you're almost imagining that you're just melting down into the ground. Perfect. And with every exhalation, you just allow your head and neck to get a little bit heavier. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, nice and gently, we're going to pop the hands back out in front. And we're going to inhale up to tabletop. Wonderful. And now we're going to come into that extended puppy dog. So just walking your hands out in front as far as you want. We're going to lower the forearms down, and then only if it feels comfortable, bringing the forehead to the ground. Something about this pose makes my shoulders crackle. Good. Forehead to ground. Lovely. Breathing into it. Now, if this doesn't feel particularly comfortable, bring your hands closer. Bend your elbows more. Bring your hands closer. And you can bring your forehead, your hands under your forehead, coming into a kind of a cross between extended child's pose and extended puppy dog. So just find that pose that feels good for you. And then in this pose, when you feel comfortable, just allow again yourself to close your eyes and take that focus to your forehead between your eyebrows. So you'll feel that pressing down on the ground, just releasing down. And just almost imagining that it's merging with the earth. You're just sinking in with the earth and just connecting to the earth and the universe in this moment. And with every exhalation, you just allow your head, your forehead to soften into that ground, or your hands, whatever you prefer. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, lifting the head up gently, we're going to take the gaze to between the fingers. And only if it feels comfortable, this will take it a little bit deeper. You're going to bring your left fingertips in towards your right elbow. So you're bringing that left hand across in front of your forehead. And then if you want to, you're going to sink your chest a little bit lower. I'm just being mindful. That's it. Perfect. Good. Lovely. Nice. Breathing into it. And you'll just feel a little bit of a release between your shoulders. And then stretching back out that left hand away. We're going to take it to the other side. So bringing that right hand arm across in front of your head, fingertips to left elbow, and then lowering chin to the ground or the forehead, just feeling that increase in the stretch in your shoulders. So it's a little bit deeper. Lovely. And then when we're ready, bringing it back out in front. Perfect. We're going to inhale softly up to tabletop. And then bringing your hands back to your knees. We're going to come up to kneeling. Your shoulders might feel a little bit weird because we were like that for a while. Wonderful. And then very gently, just inhaling your hands up to the sky. And then as you exhale, just releasing them back behind. Lovely, gentle back bend. Wonderful. And then scooting them back round to in front. Perfect. And then we're just going to bring that left foot by your hands coming into a low lunge. Wonderful. And then all we're going to do to begin with is some gentle rocking backwards and forwards. Fabulous. Nice. Just listening to your hips. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we're going to nice and gently, so you have options. We're going to look at going into pigeon pose. And we can either do this on our front or we can do it sitting on our buttocks. So I'll show you both. So if you want to go into pigeon pose on your front, you're going to walk your left foot across to just underneath that right hand, and then you're going to lower that knee down. Lovely, good. Now, if when you come to do this, if you feel comfortable, just stay here a moment. If you don't, I'm going to show you the alternative, which is where you can just sit back on your seat and bring your left ankle on top of the right thigh, just like that. Lovely. And it literally does the exact same thing. Perfect. Good. And then you can play with the depth. Wonderful. So keep in that pose for me. Those that are doing pigeon pose on their front, only if you feel comfortable, you can lower down onto your forearms. Okay. Wonderful. And then same again, you can either rest your forehead on your hands or the ground. And just stay there for me for a couple of breaths. Just focusing on releasing the hips. And those that are sitting back on their seat bones with their leg in front, you're just going to soften the elbows, and you can gently press that left knee away and then back. Very soft. Just increase the stretch in your glute. Lovely. Perfect. And then when we're ready, nice and gently, for those on their front, you're going to prop yourself back up, just bringing yourself back up with your hands underneath. Wonderful, good. And then very softly, we're going to just unfurl Woo, and then we'll all unfurl, sorry, and then just stretch back with that left leg. You can push through your heels, just doing a little calf stretch. That's it, perfect. And then we're going to, sorry, I stayed there for a bit too long, that's what I needed. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So when we're ready, and knowing what to do, so if you prefer to do it seated, you're going to do it seated. We're going to bring that right foot forwards. We'll all do the lunge first, sorry. Bringing the right foot forwards. And then we're going to gently rock backwards and forwards. We'll all do the lunge if you want to. You don't have to, I'm not going to make you. There we go. Perfect. Just getting into the hips. Lovely. And then when we're ready, we're going to come into that pigeon pose, either on our front or on our seat bones. Or you can do it differently for either side. So walking that right foot across to underneath the left hand, and then if you feel comfortable, lowering down. If not, wonderful, good, you're going to sit back. Perfect. Lovely. And just focusing on that stretch. And hips and glute stretches are wonderful. They can feel really nice. So just releasing that stretch. Pressing away with that knee if you're seated, if you want to deepen it. If not, you don't have to do that. And if you're lying on your front, just again allowing that head to go nice and heavy, and then feel that heaviness, that relaxation just travel down through your neck, your spine, to the base of your spine, to your hips and your glutes. Just allowing the whole of your body to release. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, nice and softly bringing ourselves back up. And any way you want, freestyle, we're going to bring our legs back out and then stretching back. Lovely, good. Having a good stretch. Wow, sorry. I set myself a wager for how quickly I'd probably knock the candles over, but I haven't yet. There we go, perfect. And then when we're ready, wonderful. We're just going to bring ourselves down. So we're going to be spending a little bit longer in the stretches. So we're going to start off just doing a nice, easy forward fold, but we're going to do it, we've done it this way before. Now, if you're pregnant, you're going to take your legs as wide as you want, and you're going to bend your knees, and then you're just going to take your hands down towards your ankles and just folding forwards at the hips, allowing your head to relax. Lovely. For those that aren't pregnant, they're going to bring their feet together or hip width apart in front, bending their knees, and they're going to hug their legs, interlacing their fingers. So bare knees, lovely. And then if you want to, keeping the head nice and soft, you're going to start to walk your heels away, but only as far as you want to, hugging your legs, coming into a forward fold. Wonderful, good. Lovely. And if you're pregnant, you can play with it, just remembering you'll be quite a bit more flexible. You can walk your feet away, so we don't want to overdo it. Stretching down, then you can bring them back up and then move them away again. Lovely. So we're just moving through it. And what I want us to focus on with forward folds, what can sometimes happen is the ego gets in the way. The ego gets in the way and we go, I've got to be able to touch my toes. But with this style of forward fold, I want you to concentrate on relaxing your head, your neck. Don't worry about the destination. Just think about the journey and just walking those feet out, hugging the legs and only going as low as you want. And then if it gets too much, you can walk your feet back in. Sorry, I was laughing at someone's dog. So you're bending your knees and then you can walk them away again. So this doesn't have to be stationary. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, nice and softly, perfect. We're going to just release with those hands, coming back up to center. Wonderful. And then we're going to cross our legs if that feels okay. And we're going to do a little counter pose. So crossing the legs, bringing the hands behind as we inhale in. We're just going to lift that chest and gaze up. And if you want to, you're going to lift your buttocks up off the ground, bringing your knees to the ground, only if you want. Lovely, good. Perfect. And yes, brilliant, using any props you want. And then when you're ready, softly, in your own time, you're going to release your buttocks back down to the heels. We're going to do a little flow though. We're going to do that again. And then inhaling up tall. As we exhale, we're going to walk the hands away, folding forwards. Again, not forcing anything, only going as low as you want, but really concentrating on relaxing your head. So you're just listening to your body, to your mind. And then when we're ready, walking the hands back up to center, bringing them back behind. And then if you want to, as we inhale, lifting the chest and the buttocks up. Wonderful, good. And this can give you a wonderful hip flexor stretch. There we go. And then when we're ready, nice and softly, releasing back down to center. Perfect. Wonderful. And then all we're going to do that little forward fold again. So we're just flowing between it. So taking your legs nice and wide if you want, if you're pregnant, or if you want to take your legs wide, you can anyway, by the way. No, everyone can. So you can either keep feet together, hugging the thighs, bending the knees, and then walking the feet away and hugging, or you can take your legs as wide as you want, hugging the thighs and then walking the feet away. Whatever calls to you. Lovely. But just concentrating, that's it. Allowing the head to go nice and heavy, the back to relax, and then feeling that travel down to the hips. Wonderful. So with this forward fold, we're not forcing ourselves into it. We're not getting annoyed with ourselves or letting the ego interrupt. We're literally hugging ourselves and just folding down to wherever we want to go. Perfect. And then when we're ready, nice and gently bending the knees and bringing the legs back up. Perfect. And then we're going to very gently bring that right sole of foot in towards your inner thigh. This is going to be our last stretch. And unless you're pregnant, you're going to come in and out of it or use your Pilates board if you want. Otherwise, you can also grab a pillow or a bolster, because we're going to stay in this forward fold for a little bit longer for those that want to. So if you have a pillow, maybe use a dog. There we go. You're going to pop that on that leg. That's it, brilliant. And then all we're going to do is, as you exhale, you're going to start to fold down over that left leg, allowing your forehead to release. And you can pop your hands under your forehead, just like that. Or you can stretch whatever you want. Wonderful, good. And then obviously if we're pregnant, we want to have as much space as possible, because we are sharing a flat. So all you want to do is you can bring yourself to the side a little bit, just giving yourself space to bump, or you can bring yourself up. So whatever you want. Lovely, good. And gently closing your eyes and just relaxing into that stretch. So you're just allowing your forehead to release down on your hands on the pillow, or maybe just on the pillow, whatever you want. Wonderful. Just focusing on that exhalations, breathing into it. Fabulous. And then when we're ready, nice and slowly, we're going to start to just walk our hands up our legs, and we're going to roll back up to seated position. Perfect. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So bringing it out, swapping. Perfect. Good. Oh, sorry, I love my bolster. And then popping it down. Brilliant. And then fabulous. And then when we're ready, same again. And adjust it any way you want. So this is us really looking at yin yoga, because we're holding the poses for longer and using props. So basically yin yoga, the rule is you just want to be comfortable. So when we're ready, as we exhale, just folding down. Lovely. And then if you want, so if that doesn't feel comfy, if you feel stretching, you can kind of just bend your elbow, and you can pop your hand under your forehead and rest like that. Take it a bit further down, bring it closer, whatever you want. Just not straining our back. Lovely. Perfect. And then just breathing into it. And at any point you want, you can come out of it and then come back into it, or you can stay in it the whole time. So whatever calls to you. And just again, allowing the head to go nice and heavy. Just releasing with the body. And not forcing it. Just being content with where you are. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. And with every exhalation, you just release down with your hips and your back. Just softening down. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, nice and gently, we're going to very slowly start to walk our hand back up, and we're going to roll up. Perfect. And you might want to do a couple of shoulder shrugs, whatever you want. So we're going to make our way down now to a lying position. So we're going to start heading to our Shavasana. So either lying on the back for those that want to, with their knees bent just now, or those that are pregnant or want to, lying on their side. So just getting nice and comfortable. Perfect. And then if you're lying on your back, you're going to just allow your knees, your feet to go nice and wide to the edge of your mat. And just gently allow your knees to just rock left to right. We're doing wide-legged windscreen wipers. And if you're lying on the side, perfect, wonderful. Just do little leg stretches, whatever feels good for you. Lovely, just stretching it out. And then when you're ready, nice and gently, just bringing your knees back to center. And for those that want to, we're going to just hug the knees into the chest. And you're just going to hug quite tight for those that want to. And if you want, you can kind of bring your feet, cross your feet, and then just hugging in. And I can't do it, but you can draw your knees up towards your head if you want. So just lifting up with your head gently, drawing forehead to knees if you want. Wonderful. Just hugging in. Perfect. And then hugging in for one more breath. Lovely. Then when you're ready, nice and softly, very gently release. And just slowly allowing your feet to relax onto the ground. And then if you feel comfortable to do so, just gently allow your eyes to close. And then we're going to head into our Shavasana. So just stretching your feet out to the corners of your mat if you want, or keeping your knees bent. Just getting nice and comfortable in your Shavasana. Wonderful. And then gently closing your eyes when you're comfortable. And just taking that focus to your breath. Inhaling in. And then as you exhale, just releasing and letting go. And just taking that awareness to your body, to your breath, and then eventually to your mind. And with every exhalation, you just allow your mind and body and breath to release and unwind. Just slowly letting go of the day and just unfurling and releasing. And as you're lying there with your eyes closed, I want you to just imagine that your body is a house. It's your home. And all the different parts of your body, they're different rooms in your home. And just now, after our yoga session and after the day that you've had, every single light is on in that room. Your body's been very busy. The different parts and the different rooms are all busy and bright. And as you're lying there, I want you to just go into each room and just switch the light off. Just allowing the room to quieten down for the night. So just going down to your feet, your legs, your hips, your buttocks, and just flicking each light off and allowing the room, the space, to release into the darkness, into the relaxation of the night. And then taking that awareness to your stomach, your back, your shoulders, and your chest. And again, just switching off the lights as you go. And as you switch off the lights in each area, just feel that space, that room have a sigh of relief as it's allowed to just sleep and relax. And now we're going to switch the lights off in our hands, our forearms, our upper arms, and our shoulders. Just allowing your arms to weigh down into the ground, allowing the rooms to sleep. And then flicking the lights off in your neck, your face, your cheeks, eyes, forehead, and nose. Each of those little rooms that work so hard and are so bright and active during the day. Just switching the lights off, giving your body permission to rest. And then we're going to come to the final room in the house, the busiest, the loudest, and the brightest room. The kitchen of your body, your mind. And as you go in, you can see all the appliances that are on, the washing machine, radio, dishwasher, lights, all the different appliances, the busyness. And you're going to very gently and methodically just switch everything off for the night. And as you switch off each appliance, you're just switching off that busyness in your mind, allowing your mind to release and quieten until finally you have the last switch, the main switch, which you're going to switch off so that your mind goes into darkness and you release. You're giving your mind permission to sleep, to relax. And as you're lying there, feeling the whole of your home asleep, released into the darkness, feeling wonderfully cozy and tucked up for the night, we're going to stay here in this Shavasana, in this darkness, for a little bit longer. And I'm going to go nice and quiet, just so that you can enjoy it. Wonderful. Now, when we're ready, we're going to very gently start to switch the lights back on in our home. But they maybe don't need to be as bright. They can be dim, or it can be lamps. So everything's just softly lit and not working quite as hard or feeling quite as bright or energetic as before. And when we finally come to the kitchen, to our mind, we're going to switch that light on, becoming aware of everything around us, but not switching on all the appliances, just having a little less chatter and a little more rest in our mind. And so when you're ready, very gently, any way you want, we're going to start to just wriggle and stretch our fingers and our toes, our wrists and our legs, just moving your body, bringing awareness back to your body and your mind. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, and you have time, so don't worry, we're going to just gently hug the knees in for those that want to. You can give yourself a one for those that can. You can give yourself a wonderful hug, or your dog's a wonderful hug, or your bum. You can give yourselves a wonderful hug. Wonderful. And just taking this moment to appreciate how brilliant and strong and beautiful and marvelous you, your mind, and your body is. And then when we're ready, very gently, we're going to make our way up to a seated position, nice and calmly, just remembering that theme of kind of switching the lights back on, but it's the lamps, not the light, the lamps, not the light. There we go. Just that we feel nice and relaxed for the rest of the evening. Wonderful. And then we're just going to finish off now with a little namaste. So when you can join in if you want, or you can watch. So bringing hands to the heart center, up to our third eye center for kind thoughts, down to our mouth for kind words, and then down to our hearts for kind feelings. Namaste. Thank you, guys. So hoping you're feeling nice and rested and relaxed for the rest of the evening. Any feedback is greatly appreciated, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of the week. And I will see you guys soon. See ya. Bye.